Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So according to an interview with TalkSport, Tony Bellew revealed that he was actually reprimanded by Sky Sports due to his unprofessional behaviour on the Alexander Usyk versus Derek Chisora fight night. Obviously during that fight, Bellew was working. He wasn't actually a commentator on fight night, but he was a pundit covering the events, and obviously during the fight all we could hear, especially with no crowd, was Tony Bellew screaming and cheering for Derek Chisora every other second. And, after that fight, a lot of people actually pointed out that, the guy is supposed to be there as an unbiased observer, giving his take on what went down as a pundit, but obviously Tony Bellew could not do that due to his relationship with Derek Chisora, and that was made apparent when we heard his post-fight analysis after that fight took place. And by the way, I was actually put onto this story by G-Man Boxing. Shout out to G-Man Boxing. Check out his channel, one of the best on YouTube. I highly recommend his content. And, G-Man's made a video about this already. But, I wanted to really give my 2 cents on the scenario. Before we do, I shall read a few snippets from the Tony Bellew interview in regards to this topic. So he explained, it was purely a friendship thing. When it comes to Derek, we're close friends. I don't have many close friends left in the boxing world anymore, and there's not many guys out there who openly supported me when I was fighting. Derek was always there with my biggest fights, right by my side, screaming and shouting for me, and I'm a loyal person. What you do for me, I do for you. So it was just one of them nights. I got reprimanded and told off by Sky for my shouting and stuff, but don't employ me for fights where my friends are fighting if that's not what you want. I can be the most professional person in the world when I want to be, and I can be emotionless on fights. But you can't have one of the closest people I've had to me in boxing over the last decade fighting a man I fought, who I know inside out, and not expect me to cheer and shout for them. It is what it is, mate. I'm not really that bothered about being told off, and it doesn't really concern me that much anymore. I'll keep on going. I'll always support Derek regardless of the atmosphere, regardless of the environment, and regardless of the opponent. I'll always support Derek Chisora. Those are the words of Tony Bellew. So there we are. As we know, Tony's got a close relationship with Derek. They're both close friends, and there's nothing wrong with supporting your friends. But ultimately, Tony Bellew is employed by Sky Sports to do a job as a pundit or a commentator. And, part of that is to be as objective as possible. Now, as we know, all of these networks, PBC, Sky Sports, BT Sports, ESPN, all of the commentary are they are biased in regards to home fighters. But for me, I've always said this, and I always have felt this, that the Sky Sports commentary is just a notch above everybody else when it comes to pure bias and pure cheerleading in regards to the home fighter. And this Tony Bellew situation, for me, was just the highlight of that. Tony Bellew is putting this on Sky saying, don't hire me if one of my friends is fighting. Well, Tony's admitted that he can't do the job when his friend is fighting, so for me, it's up to him to say, do you know what? I'll miss out on this one, let somebody else do it, I can't call this one objectively. If your boss at work asks you to carry out a project and you've not got the skills necessary to do it, you're going to say to him, well, maybe, I'm not trained to do this, somebody else needs to do it, or at least that I need to be trained in order to carry out this task and complete it to the required standards. That's what you would say to your employer, and to me, that's what Tony Bellew should do, when it comes to certain fights. And, for me, this hasn't been the only time when, Sky Sports commentary has been overly friendly and overly biased to a home fighter. The difference for me is with Sky Sports, a lot of these ex-commentators or pundits are ex-matchroom fighters, and the whole matchroom bubble seems to be a bit of a clique. It seems to be like a jobs for the boys environment. A lot of these guys are close friends, and that really comes out in the commentary. And the fact that Sky Sports are now reprimanding the likes of Tony Bellew for their unprofessional behaviour, in my opinion, is encouraging. I mean, the Alexander Usyk Derek Chisora fight's the perfect example, because the Sky Sports commentary and a couple of bad scorecards convinced so many people that it was a razor close fight. I've heard a lot of people say it could have been a draw. And who knows, maybe that is due to the biased punditry and commentary on that particular night. You know, maybe that has a subconscious effect on how people view fights. I certainly think it's a possibility amongst some people at least. It's not the first time Sky Sports commentary has been not just biased, but as far as I'm concerned, unprofessional. And I'm glad that, Sky Sports have apparently reprimanded Tony Bellew for his conduct, because for me, it was totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. And, he should not have been working that fight night. It's as simple as that. So going forwards, hopefully either Sky heed Tony Bellew's advice and not hire him when his friends are fighting, or Tony Bellew actually takes some responsibility and he decides not to work these fights because he's not giving the paying customer what they deserve, and that is an unbiased, objective opinion on the fight. And the whole coverage for that fight was an absolute disgrace from top to bottom, as far as I'm concerned. And Tony Bellew, once again, playing that victim mentality, saying that it's up to Sky and it's no fault of his own, blah, blah, blah. Listen, bro, you're supposed to be a grown man, a professional, and on a few occasions, I think Tony's let himself down, to be honest with you. But not just Tony Bellew, a whole host of other commentators in the Matchroom clique. And to me, that's one of the biggest problems with Sky Sports. I've made several videos on this in the past, because I think it's a pressing issue in British boxing. I really do. But, share your thoughts below. What do you make of this news? Me personally, I would love to not hear Tony Bellew commentate again or be a pundit again. That's my big wish here, but that's obviously not going to happen. But hopefully Bellew doesn't get as many of these big fights involving his friends, and we can get some half-decent commentary. I wouldn't mind seeing Sky Sports maybe get Paulie Malignaggi back on commentary, because Paulie's got his faults, but he always kept it down the middle for the most part, much more than the regular guys on Sky Sports. I certainly believe they need some sort of overhaul. And by the way, again, check out G-Man Boxing on YouTube. He actually kind of pushed me towards this story with his video. So check out G-Man Boxing, one of the best channels on YouTube as far as I'm concerned. Proper boxing head, enthusiastic, and he's doing some great stuff on his channel. So check out G-Man Boxing every single time. And I guess I shall close the video with the following. Some people say, why do you keep digging out Sky Sports? Do you hate Matchroom? Blah, 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 blah. I think it's a growing complaint amongst the boxing public that the commentary on Sky Sports is not up to standard. And ultimately, we are the paying customers. So if we're not happy with a certain part of a product, we complain. And by the way, our voices are being heard by Sky Sports. The likes of Adam Smith, Matthew Macklin, etc. have come out publicly and tried to defend themselves in regards to these criticisms. They are being heard. So for me, it's a valid endeavour in regards to criticising the Sky Sports commentary team, the punditry team, and the unprofessional nature in which they cover the sport. So just wanted to end it at that. If you liked this video, smash the like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Share your thoughts below. Peace.